Let's talk about the Haachama situation real quick now too. Already prepared to get fired, somebody says. 3 million fucking people. And that is because she broke a lot of rules. Chat, look. Bare hand. If you guys remember, this is not allowed in Hololive. Hololive explicitly forbid it. Right? Yeah. And then there's a note over here on the side. There's a not on the side, something that she actually wrote saying, why should I need to put on the grave or put out the grave? You guys made that rule. I remember everything. That is concerning. That is super concerning. Oh, glove. Okay. Actually, you know what? It might make sense if it's glove, right? Because like she doesn't want to wear gloves. She doesn't want to wear gloves, but like Cover Corp wants her to wear gloves. Yeah. You guys made that rule. I remember everything. I remember everything. I don't know if that's like that's a sad thing where it's like I remember everything back then where Hololive was a little more lax, but then or that could mean I remember everything as in fucking I remember every single bad thing that you did to me. And I'm like, oh my god. Who is you here? You might refer to Hololive. You might refer to Hololive. And that's scary. And somebody sent me this screenshot. Actually, no, my editor sent me this screenshot. And I believe I recognized I recognized the font immediately. Not the font, the style. And I think it's from VTA. Take everything with a grain of salt, as I came in part ways and I don't have the full context, but it seems like things went terribly downhill. I think it just started as a fun embroidery stream, but when she read out an anti-comment, things just started spiraling. This is the main I've picked up from JP Twitter and the Holo Discord. She wondered why aunties go as far as to just to mess with her. Why have they done this for so long? Keep in mind, throughout this whole thing, aunties were still in chat talking shit. Reflected back on past traumas, experiencing how trapped she felt in her hospital during her hospitalization. Being unable to move, forced to use a diaper, it was a horrible time. Recalled a time in Asakusa where she just saw an ambulance and had a mini panic attack at the thought of them trapping her in that hospital bed again. Has felt frustrated because her streams and projects don't get attention. Called out people who only show up at times like this to watch her cry, and how her clips are mainly of her crying, even when she puts on signs that say clips banned. Ooh. Yeah. So chat, if you think so this is actually something I want to talk about. If you goddamn think that EN audiences, especially Twittards, are like ruthless, you guys should have it on there on JP, right? I'm loosely exposed to the JP community, especially when I make my videos. The people over there are ruthless. If you don't conform to like expectations, even the slightest bit of expectations, they will unreasonably hate you, right? Like, you look at the Shondo incident, right? You look at the Shondo drama. Where is it? Where's the Shondo drama? This happens, right? And there's a few people over here that's trying to defend that dislikes Shondo's actions, but it's trying to defend her by saying, Shondo, you should be careful about that, you know, like, you know better than that. You've been accused of baseless things before. I don't think you want to do that. Though in JP, you don't have that grace. You don't get to have that grace. They are infinitely more ruthless over there. Why do you think most Japanese VTubers are actually menheras? And in JP, it's easier to stalk you. It's easier to dox you. Everything in there is much more ruthless. That's why you gotta be goddamn careful. That's why a lot of VTubers actually would want to prefer having agencies. So the agencies are going to be the ones that act as their their PR people. They're the ones that will actually protect their documents and their identities and like all the shit that they need to deal with, right? Because like for example, if I was an indie, right, and I sign a contract with a big company using my real name, that company or whoever is handling the contract could leak that to threads, could leak that to a person that's willing to pay for it. That's how easy it is to dox people out there. It's actually fucking insane. And that's why that's why VTubers would want to get in on agencies. That's why in JP, agency culture is actually thriving in there. I know we've talked in the West where like agency culture in the West and how agencies in the West are like dying and shit. In JP, it's actually thriving. Yeah, it's that insane. The part where like she gets frustrated because her streams and projects don't get attention is wild though. Anyway, she talks about hating the world, about wanting to disappear, being too scared to disappear, dying without having anything accomplished. I think her being here is already an accomplishment enough, but I think that the more concerning part of this is that it indicates suicidality. There was an incident 3 years ago where she got caught by the police for some reason, got restrained and shoved into the asphalt while crying. Oh my fucking god! Got taken out to the station and had to use the bathroom while a female officer watched her with the door open. After that, she couldn't feel safe around the police. Holy shit. Jesus fucking Christ. Despite being silent about all of it, she knows she needs to talk with police and lawyers about that incident and knows the solution, but actually just has to do it. Ranted about her school days sucking and being hated by her teacher. Got bothered by the people that feel like she's acting up when she gets like this. Ooh, yeah, in Japan, this is also very common. Oh my god. I don't know what to say. Said that she just wants to live normally but doesn't know what normal is. Got asked about why she doesn't go to Hollows for help. Basically said that she's awkward with other people, even groups that she made herself. Felt that she could make friends in the hospital but can't in Hololive. Has felt very isolated and alone. Like even venting like this, she has no one IRL, family, friends, whether in Hollow she can go to. Ooh, so she's fucking isolated. Was that in JP, the cell thing? Yes. So she's super isolated. Who is this? This is Maki Mapil. This is Haachama. This is Haachama. This is the concerning part about like stuff like this. It's like it's obvious that Haachama is a menhera, right? But not the fun kind of menhera, not the Rusha kind of menhera, but like the kind of menhera that actually like keeps everything down and is quiet about it. Like not even okay to make fun of, not being okay to like lol cow of, or like this is the type of menhera you just want to hug and protect. You know what I mean? Like holy crap. Even for collabs, she has no one to reach out to and initiate instead of getting invited. Apparently there was a Disney trip that every Hollow went to except her, implying that she got laughed out essentially. Wasn't the Disney trip happening while she was still in school? Talked about how her father wanted a boy instead of a girl in a childhood moment where she stole her mom's wallet to buy a Tamagotchi, and how angry her mom got when she found out. Then her mom came back to the store with Chama, shouted at the store clerk for selling something so expensive to a child. That's messed up with her mental even more than getting. Oh my god. Oh my god. So her childhood is not necessarily the best. Talked about wanting her childhood years back and how much time she spent being a VTuber. Everyone tells her she's still young as she's only 23, but she feels very old. She won't even end stream as she's apparently scared there's something in her house that could take her away. She's been streaming until morning, so she doesn't want to be alone. She doesn't want to be looked at. She doesn't even want to look at her face in the mirror. Chat, you have to remember, Haachama joined Hololive when she was a minor. When she was fucking like 16, if I remember correctly. That's super young. That's 10th grade, chat. That's 10th grade to me. She's super young. And now she's 23. Yeah, sure, she might have a lot of money, but like it's like golden handcuffs, you know? To a certain extent, when does the money stop being worth it? And she doesn't want to end stream because she's alone. She doesn't want to be alone. So she literally has only chat for her accompaniment. Is it really that much money? Doesn't she still live with her parents? Well, I mean, the problem is I would like to think, yes, she does earn a lot of money because she gets a lot of views every time she streams, and the ad revenue alone on VODs is insane. She got a lot of sponsorships back then too, and she has a lot of members and super chats. The only time I think there was a year where she didn't earn money was that one year where she actually turned off her memberships. She turned off her monetization for her channel, rather. I don't know why she did that. So, I don't know if, like, that was, like, a rebellion on her part against Hololive. I don't know. She's the breadwinner of the family, yeah. She said in English, it's fine to show her hands because she quit being a VTuber. Then she said in JP she wants to still stay, but she will likely be made to quit after this, so whatever. So chat, she's actually rage baiting Cover Corp. She will most likely be made to quit after this, so it's whatever. And she quit being her VTuber. She's actually rage baiting Hololive to. She's daring Hololive to fire her. To me, that's super concerning. Oh my god. How much can we even blame other Hololive for her isolation? I'd say mostly it's Holo. It's hard to say if it's like actually Holo, right? Because Haachama is like okay. I'm gonna explain to you guys a little bit about like Japanese dynamics. Haachama technically has seniority in the company because she's like been here since Gen 1, right? Like she is the most experienced in the company. One of the most experienced, rather. At the same time, everyone around her is fucking old. She is the youngest in the company. She is 23, right? Everyone around her is old. But then, even if people are close to her age, like let's say there's somebody that's 24, 25, it's gonna be hard to connect with them because she has seniority and they are new members. Haachama, we've seen, is an introvert. So she doesn't know how to talk to them, and even if they do start talking, she doesn't know how to form that bridge. Right? Like it's harder for her. She is in a very unique spot in Hololive where if anybody wants to talk to Haachama, I'm sure they will, but I don't think they will truly even actually understand what Haachama is going through. And that's, I think, I'm just writing over here, right? But I think that's partly why Haachama is so isolated. Like she's in a very weird spot. The main issue is that since Chama is mentally ill and is refusing to take her medicine, at this point she may be an unreliable narrator. Maybe in the sense that she's exaggerating a lot of things. That may be true. Yeah, that may be true. Personally, I don't think there's really anyone to put blame to. Oh, I agree with that, Mythic Ass. I think Haachama is just... she's in a very tough time, very tough spot. When she talked about her fans loving and loving her fans and streaming, she talked in the past tense and laughed at the comment that this made it feels like a final stream. She reiterated that she likes being here, likes management and wants to say, but feels suffocated by said management and lack of results. So she likes management, like management is nice to her, but I don't know what said management and lack of results mean. So I'm guessing that it boils back to the whole projects and stream ideas being shot down by management sort of thing that she talks about. Like, you know, she gets super upset about not making content the way she used to. She has repeatedly lamented about stagnating views. Let's actually look at that. Yeah, her views stagnated. 100%. It's not the same anymore. What's happening with Haachama and Hololive? Rima's video is here. Whatchamacallit? Haachama CH. Or Haton CH now. These are still good views. Chat, these are still good views. Right? Oh, she even collabed with Salome. Yeah, chat, these are still... Oh, you can't see it, sorry. Chat, these are still good views. Right? Like, it's not as much as it used to be, back in fucking 2023, or 2020, 2022, 2021, right? Back then, Haachama used to get a shit ton, right? Like if we look at popular, the streams from 4 to 3 years ago were the streams where she absolutely popped the fuck off. Because this was peak of Hololive, this was peak JP. This was during Hololive, this was when Coco got cancelled and shit, right? Yeah. Yeah. And I'm guessing that she numbers Andy's a lot too much, right? Like she number Andy's a lot too much, and she's just not achieving the kind of viewership that you used to. And to be fair, her hiatus, she got sick, probably did that. Oh yeah, that's a lot of things. She did a lot of hiatuses. She again not monetized herself for an entire year. She disappeared for almost like 8 months or something. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, the views stagnated, but that's not necessarily a problem, IMO. Maybe Haachama needs to like put it in her head that these are okay viewerships. People still want her and remember her and shit like that. Yeah, of course the drama is the one that has a lot of viewership. Shama probably likes the security of Holo but hates the restriction for what she wants to do. Yeah, I think a lot of Hololive chat, that's the case for a lot of agencies, especially in Nejisanji and Hololive. Yeah, they like management, and because management may either be nice to them and because they provide a sense of direction, but like the restriction is a deal. People need to learn to be content. Yeah, people need to stop number Andying, I guess. Yeah. Because I'm guessing Haachama asked management to help her get numbers again. And maybe management did provide a few suggestions. Maybe management did talk to her about it. They talked about all sorts of strats and shit like that. But maybe there hasn't been any like results worth talking about, if that makes sense. Right? Yeah. Number Andying looks bad, but if it's how you make money, what else are you supposed to do? I think this is more than livable in Japan, though. I mean, provided she has to stream a lot more, but I guess she explained anxiety in streaming. She has to stream a lot more, but this is very livable. I wonder what will happen if Haachama switched to English streams a bit. Haachama's gonna have a hard time to do that because Haachama doesn't know how to speak English that much. She studies English, she knows more of English than the average Holo, but it's not necessarily conversational, if that makes sense. Where Chama thinks she wants to do is inherently unsafe in Corpo's eyes. Yeah, she wants to do a little bit more unhinged things. So maybe, I don't know. And look, right, look. We just had a number Andying stream 2 days ago, or yesterday, I don't know, yeah, 2 days ago, where we looked at Ruka, Yubari Ray, like the previous ex-corpos from Hololive. We saw, chat, there is, in the English Hololive members, they maintained their numbers, or they actually superseded their numbers, like their numbers increased. But in the JP side of things, JP failed. Or not, maybe not necessarily failed. JP members did not hit that kind of numbers the same way they used to when they were back in Hololive. Yeah. She cried not too long ago about struggling to sing in English. I think, yeah, Haachama, I think, has a bit of an identity crisis too. And I think what's more concerning about all of this is the reactions. Look at this. Management, please prioritize mental health. And then, you know, everybody talked to her about it and shit like that. Yeah. And on Twitter, obviously, I made a tweet in Twitter saying that I am concerned for her, among other things. But like, there was an entire debate about whether or not you should like try to silence Haachama or something. Because chat, look, I disagree with that whole point too, by the way. When this made the rounds on Twitter, your V-tweeters and your farmers and your fan pages, they were making posts about like Haachama's situation, right? But a lot of people were very mad about how they should delete it. Right? Like, how about how they should delete it? But yeah. What's concerning is that everyone in the QRT and stuff is trying to suppress and censor whatever is happening with Haachama right now and is doing the job for Cover Corp. Yeah. And I think this is a bad thing. I absolutely disagree with people trying to silence it. Right? I would have agreed to silencing it if, like, actual personal things that are worth doxing in there are actually there. But, like, this is the exact kind of behavior and situation that who was that snake in on Hololive China again? Artia? Yes, Artia. This was the exact kind of behavior that allowed Artia to keep doing her own thing. Right? If you don't remember, I'll give you the debriefing. Artia was like a Hololive China member who was saying shit like, yeah, no, unity, Andy. Yeah, I don't talk about politics here, chat, and blah, blah, blah. But then, on her personal accounts, on her Bilibili, on her other places, she would actively made fun of Cover Corp and the fan base there and, like, support China. Right? But then, some Hong Kong and Taiwanese fans started outing that, and the English fans, you know what they were trying to fucking do? They were trying to censor that. They were trying to say, like, oh my god, we should keep this under wraps for now. I don't know if she's gonna be in trouble and shit like that. Well, no, that's the fucking point. Right? A cry for help or anything that can be in a danger to both the talent, to the agency, and the community at large should be talked about. It should be talked about. So yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait until what we'll have to wait until what happens to, like, Haachama, I guess, because it is concerning. It is very concerning.